Most of the Irish Americans are culturally WASPs rather than Irish, unfortunately. WASPs is white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And I think this is a really interesting point. If you don't know me, I'm Goodwill Cunting. I'm a writer and journalist from Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland, and I'm using TikTok to get a book deal for my novel Influence. I was speaking on here this weekend about how to be Irish is to protest, and how I saw a video of an Irish American saying that Irish people were colonial for not wanting to sort of welcome Irish Americans into Irishness. And this comment says that Irish Americans are more culturally white Anglo-Saxon Protestant than they are Irish. And there was another comment that said that the person leaving the comment considered themselves Irish American as opposed to American of Irish descent, or Irish heritage. And they said that, Irish Americans should be kind of forthcoming with their politics and with their sense of protest. And I am inclined to agree. I think there is a sense that a lot of Irish Americans are wanting to, what they call, reclaim their roots or get in touch with their ancestors. But what they're missing is that to be Irish is really a spiritual connection to the land above anything else. And so much of Irishness is entwined with stewardship and trying to protect the land. And Ireland is still colonised. The north of Ireland is still colonised. I don't think a lot of Irish Americans realise that. And Ireland is under a new colonisation, and that is that 4 out of 5 homes bought in Ireland last year was bought by corporate landlords, aka hedge funds and vulture funds, is that what they call them? So yeah, if you are an Irish American or you are an American with Irish heritage and you want to connect with your Irish roots, follow Irish content creators and learn about what's happening in Ireland and what you can do to help, because we definitely need it. Do you know something that's inherently Irish? Protest. I've been thinking about Irishness a lot because of this discourse around Irish Americans. And if you don't know me, I'm Goodwill Cunting. I'm a writer and journalist from Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland, and I'm using TikTok to get a book deal for my novel Influence. I am from Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland, and the reason I say both of those things is because Northern Ireland is part of the UK. Ireland is not entirely free, and a lot of Irish Americans, when they think about Ireland, they think Ireland got free with Bill Clinton. And Ireland is still occupied by Britain. Now, I was born in the north, which is the British part, and there was Union Jacks on the streets of the town that I grew up in. But I am half descended from Protestants, the British side. Although those Protestants were Huguenots, but anyways. And half Irish, right? Which is quite common now for people from Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland. And a lot of Americans didn't know that. But something else that I think Irish Americans don't really tap into at all, and this is something that Bernadette Devlin talks about in her podcast with Blind Boy, which I really recommend listening to. She talks about the fact that when she went to get, the keys, what is it, the key to the city or something? We call it freedom of the city, don't we? I think. Anyways, again, the fact that we call it freedom says something. But anyways, Bernadette Devlin said that she was shocked by how much the Irish American society that she was being paraded around, was silent on black civil rights issues. In particular, they didn't have any solidarity with the Panthers. In fact, they, objected to the Panthers and were very hostile towards black civil rights. In fact, at times were racist. So Irish Americans who want to claim their Irish heritage need to understand that Irishness is totally tied to protest and to struggle and to fight. And Ireland is under another attack now, which is a corporate takeover. And so it's interesting to see the American football game that was played in Dublin last night. Dublin is one of the most expensive cities to live in the world, most definitely in Europe, and Irish people are being priced out of it. And Irish people of all races and creeds, by the way. And the Irish people are being priced out of it, whilst whatever that school was or whatever university has that big match there, at the same time as Irish people are being detained by ICE. Irish people can't move to America. They can't just get visas and move to America. So Irish people are really still struggling, as well as still being occupied. And if Irish Americans really want to tap into their ancestry as they call it, they should tap into the protest. They should be standing outside ICE detention centres with their Irish flags. They should be attending Palestinian protests with their Irish flags like Irish people do here. But they're not.